The final dungeon of Gaia's Garden, and maybe the penultimate dungeon of the entire game awaits Leah in this part. Although, if I was going to be placing any bets, I think that we're going to be seeing a return of the Vermilion dungeon by endgame. There was just so much stuff that was going on there that didn't really get to see too much of because Leia was able to escape her imprisonment. It also seems like the perfect place for some sort of ultimate showdown. Either way, really starting to get there. I mean, even looking at some of the statistics in the game, I'll have to do a lore section on that at some point. I have nearly 90% of the quests complete, nearly 90% of the enemies analyzed, and the only thing we even know about left in the game is Sapphire Ridge and Rhombus Square. But then again, who knows what the actual end game is going to be. Chapter 10 might be pretty lengthy for all I know. There's definitely going to be a lot of lore, if nothing else. Well, anyway, first off, do need to take care of this Electro Cat and Lightning Rod infestation you got going around here. Those Shad are not going to be moving otherwise, and it's not going to be good enough to get rid of them temporarily. No, we've got to attack the root cause. Yes, that's the name of the quest. You know, like trees. Well, as it is, Lucretia is giving us the rundown about how she's going to science them away. Despite the fact that NPCs only have one avatar image, I swear she's getting more and more smug over time. There's some sort of weird psychological effect going on. Well, yeah, it's obviously the EXE repairs. And even though we didn't get to see too much of those last time, boy oh boy, we're going to be seeing a lot of those this time. I hope you like their whole style. It's actually pretty cool how they work. So, in fact, this entire quest and this entire dungeon, both some of my favorites in the game. I think that they did a good job of kind of combining the wave and shock, which have some very unique properties, as you've seen already with the lightning and wave balls. And this entire starting quest is, it might not be the most difficult thing, but stylistically, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Easy enough. I actually was told to switch out for the decoy this time, which I forgot to do. Which, saying this right now, I entirely forgot to do that, so that the cats would attack it and then immediately make themselves vulnerable. Well, one of the things that also makes the cats easy is just using the melee attack. If they're dashing right towards you, it's fairly simple to blast a whole group of them at once. So much data, which again, this is all a Final Fantasy VII reference. Well, not all of it, but at least like the characters and everything involved are. I'm sure that a lot of the stuff she's saying probably has some sort of reference to something, but I played that game back in like 2010. Yeah, no, I wasn't like one of the OG Final Fantasy VII guys. I had an N64 playing Yoshi's Story and Mario 64 and like Mario Kart, Bomberman 64. Mostly Nintendo games. That was a console that had a lot of good stuff, but most of it was made by Nintendo. If I'm being totally real here. They do not actually behave that much differently. The EXE repairs, all in all, are largely just, well, they shoot stuff at you. But, that said, there are some special ones, like this lightning shooting one, and ones that summon up like Wickats and everything. And there's also an awful lot of them to be kind of frustrating. I kind of feel bad for that guy who fought a bunch of hedgehogs. It's like, if you just, I don't know, found some way to redo this quest over and over, it would probably be much easier, even though they are only giving me one EXP each time. Yeah, so the entire bit here is that these things, the EXE repairs, are actually just like a giant, and wait for it, tree data structure. That's right. I mean, when you realize that it's, of course it's going to appear in Gaia's Garden, eh? It's clever. I'll give them this. I like the style. Watch out for the fire ones. They got kind of the most brutal attack out of any of the EXE repairs. But as soon as you find the right branch, the right path to be going down, and find one of these white ones, that's how you know that you were able to complete this area. Like like I said, it's clever, but I would have also liked if the EXE repairs had a little bit more robust attacks. I mean, sure, you know, you get like a wave one that revives stuff, the cold one that shields them, a fire one, as you saw, shoots out a ton of fireballs, and the electricity one shoots out electricity, which are neat. You also get the wick hats, and like the super ones shoot out multiple bullets, but they go down so easily that it doesn't really make that much of an impact when you're actually fighting them. To be honest, if they had more enemies like this, as far as I know, these are going to be the only EXE repairs. Maybe they'll be making an appearance a little bit later on. But I would like to see an entire class of enemies like this. The way that it's sort of like a game of extreme hide and seek. And like the elemental gimmicks are neat. They're just not they're not entirely fleshed out, I suppose, is what I'm saying. Oh well, as it is, I can mostly just... Should be somewhere. No, not here, but it was going down towards... Well, gee, I wonder where I'm going to be going. It was going down towards the infested area. Yeah, there was that mysterious fence over there that was impossible to break through. I was thinking that it was going to be... Yep, there we go. I was thinking that it was going to... Hey, don't walk here. We're doing stuff. I'm recording. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking that it was going to be a thing that... I cannot remember her name now. The Shad that's been helping us out the entire time getting into the temple proper. That she was just going to cut it down again, but... Nope, it's something to do with this literal representation of a data structure. And yeah, it does kind of like trick you out a little bit. I guess it's more of a graph because, you know, multiple nodes. Well, I guess they don't really have parents. They're just connected sometimes because ones that are graphically near each other. By graphically, I don't mean like image. I mean like the graph data structure. Good, there we go. Can shield other ones. So not exactly, but I guess you could do a search to figure out if the values of which they're the like XY values at which they're located are, you know, X distance from each other, and then you can throw shields on individual bits. You'd have to do a couple searches, but it would work. Anyway, yeah, okay, yes, you got me. I do maybe have a little bit of a background on this. Just a little bit, though. Not too much. Oh, that wasn't even the right side to take. Yeah, I can get like 3 or more after this. They're pretty big. And like I said, I like the concept. I love the concept of this. It's very... Do it. Okay, fine, then don't do it. The wave ones, like I said, revive stuff, so kind of #1 priority after taking down the blue ones, which are just trouble because they shield stuff. Yeah, as of right now, I still have the dash, which is the very traditional dash. That's why I was thinking that I could probably switch that out for the decoy soon enough. And I mean, I will. Just give me a second. It's certainly pretty easy to just face tank a lot of the nodes because they shoot so infrequently. I'm going to at least make an attempt to not run face first into everything. Even though, as you can see, as they break, they take 999 damage, which means... Wait, I'm remembering stuff. Let's switch this out now. Even though they take 999 damage once broken, so it's not too difficult to blitz them down very fast and leave it at that. All right, one more. And if I'm remembering correctly, I guess the EXE repair bit... No, it was not actually... Well, it's kind of this direction, but not exactly this direction. Yeah, and I guess EXE repair refers to increasing the amount of these things as it's doing stuff. Repairing things, I guess, would be the actual thing. Party members, come on. Okay, well, great. I don't know if there's much point in doing like elemental weaknesses, like I said, because they do go down in like singular hits. But maybe that would get them to break faster. I don't know. I don't think it really, like I said, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Also makes mushroom farming, well, dang. Also makes mushroom farming pretty, wow, just everything here. The perfect combination. Because as soon as these things explode, they will take out all of the botanics around here, too. Like that matters. I already have everything fully covered. All right, and with that end node taken down and so many venom shrooms and glowing spheres, now we got the real trial coming up. Well, the real trial. This is mostly... It's a fun quest, but like I said, not a difficult one. Your damage outpaces these things by a lot. No, not this area. I guess they don't expect you to have all the shortcuts unlocked. Which, to be fair, sure. You know, it came from this direction, right? This is probably where, like, the end node would be at. Okay, let's get... With, like, the toxic stuff there, too, I think is doing damage as the shellcats are attacking. Yeah, sure. I think that they can probably get some good usage out of that. And if I'm remembering the first time I did this, I want to go over here to... Nope, there's nothing. Red, you know, this sort of like red herring as opposed to some of the, like that fake warp point last time, I can get down with. This is very fast. Still gotta watch out if I'm trying not to take too much damage. It even kind of considers it a boss in the way that you feel after taking down some of the special elemental ones. Oh, right, that one is reviving the red one as soon as I'm doing any damage. Or healing it. Or something. This should do it. I mean, given the amount of protection that the tree is putting on it right now, this is gonna be the end area, right? It's gotta be. Certainly I can't go down any farther. And right there. Yeah, go attack those, you jabronis. Good for applying Mark, too. Certainly I should be looking at a few more of the... Even if I'm not using too much for guard arts, I should be looking at a few more of the, like, defensively focused stuff, just in general. I've had, in the comment section for some of the past videos, common commenter Firestar, Phire, talk about how this game is mostly a... It's not really so much a... Yeah, it's just a big sloth. Look, you're not fooling me with that shadow, by the way. Yeah, this game is an RPG, but in a lot of ways, the RPG elements don't make too much of a difference. There is still a little bit of customization, though, that I think definitely makes it interesting. I would consider it more of a... You can see each one of the glowing mushrooms around here are eaten. So I guess it was a good thing that he decided to go out for a lunch break right now. Otherwise, I'd never get in here. And by a good thing, I mean, even in the context, this is a video game, so they had to design it like this. Anyway, yeah, there's some good customization stuff, but I do think that I would really consider this game a lot more of a good action game. It's way more akin to, like, a Zelda than a, I don't know, Final Fantasy, for example, which I guess is just appropriate for what's going on right now. You know it, I know it. There was no way that this wasn't going to be happening. Although without the party members, and with a little bit trickier terrain, it's more platformer-focused, comparatively. Not in a way that's very difficult, though. Don't worry about that. Just in a way that is difficult for me, because I'm bad at video games. I think those things might actually be a little bit lower. Yes, nice. I think those things might actually be a little bit lower on the... Okay, fine then. On the area, but they're so tall or something that I'm still able to hit them. Which, you know, sure, why not? It only works out for me. Wait. For some reason, the perspective, I feel like, in this area is extra difficult to tell what's going on. I don't know what the deal with that is. Yeah, speaking of some of the statistics that I was talking about, that you know, I was talking about earlier, one of the things that they do keep track of is what your percentage of guards and perfect guards are. And I got like a 25%, despite the fact that I rarely ever use that. I guess it's mostly just for the parries. And although I do know that the parries can definitely be pretty good for combat, it's probably the fact that I'm doing so much... Oh, it's reviving, okay. It's probably the fact that I'm doing so much, side quests and everything that I haven't really had too much of a problem with. Yeah? with any sort of combat so far. You know, I even had the like old dude talking about all of the sort of advanced techniques, which I haven't had a chance to use. You know, guard canceling and all that. It's gonna be something to think about, I guess, maybe as I'm getting to endgame. I want to say that this game, if I was going to once again make even more bets, so right now we got the Vermilion Dungeon one and this one, probably would say that it's going to be picking up difficulty at the end. There's like stuff like assist mode and everything like that, which makes me feel that, yep. Yeah, okay, good. Worked out well for me. Yeah, there's stuff like assist mode and everything in here, which makes me think that there's going to be a point where probably like, and I'm thinking that if it hasn't happened now, probably right at endgame where it gets real saucy. I do wonder if like the blue avatar is going to be his completely unchanged from the time that we saw him before, and he has all these like instant kill attacks and stuff like that too. Who knows? Well, you're a sloth. You don't really often see a whole lot of evil sloths in video games, but you do when they are surface sloth. I told you it was a Final Fantasy reference. And you didn't believe me. Anyway. So, does he have a gigantic katana? Yes, he does. And, like, the 20-meter long katana type of thing that, Okay, let's make sure that I'm healing up here a little bit. I do like that attack for that, if nothing else. Okay, that's fine. This attack is the thing that makes him real rough, though. And frankly, I don't even know if I could dodge this outside of just doing a bunch of, yeah, nice try. Outside of doing a bunch of, oh, come on. I was hoping that I might have been able to do a little bit of extra damage out. I'm doing a bunch of guards, you know, trying to face him as he's going. Maybe, like, that would be a good time for a perfect guard. Oh, I didn't see that he was doing that attack. This one, should have been able to dodge, but I didn't. Certainly is not living up to the name Sloth. Yeah, should have actually probably gone for a guard there. 2. There. And, oh, that was it. Thought I would have had to at least pull out one more level 3 combat art. So it was just to repair that one crack in the wall. Nah. The track works in mysterious ways. I guess the real thing to be said is don't mess around with your registry. Even if you are some sort of like mindless behemoth sloth that wields an extremely long katana. All right, but that should do it. And like I said, a neat quest, but not like it's a very difficult one. I love the concepts behind it. Oh, and then I do believe it is Lucretia's bodyguard, as we'll find out in about 5 seconds. His name's Vincent. I never actually did Vincent's quest all the way back in Final Fantasy VII. You know, got him as a party member because I didn't know how to do it, basically. Sure, like I said, it was 2010. I could have just looked it up online, but I didn't actually know enough about the game to even know about Vincent. Yeah, I know, like, at that point in time, the God, if I can remember his name now, Dirge of Cerberus. Dirge of Cerberus was out, so, you know, he had an entire game but to himself, but I was never big into the Final Fantasy thing. I basically, at the time, I was playing, like, Wild Arms, I was playing, like, Suikoden. I didn't actually like Suikoden all that much, I'm going to admit that right now. So I was just kind of like on an RPG kick, and that's one of the most famous ones out there. Got the remake out now. Still haven't heard like what the public consensus of it is yet, but I have seen some spoilers, and it seems pretty wacky. Yes, I already explained all of this, Lucretia. Extends it in the way that you do with trees. I do like that the tracks debugger is very utilitarian. Just like kind of like poles combined with wires. I mean, it sort of looks like the CrossWorld's logo with the way that it's got or at least the CrossCode logo, which has the wires kind of in the background too. And other than that, they're just big poles. That's it. Vince, there you go. Katara, that's right. Because it made me think of Final Fantasy. It made me think of Mortal Kombat. Well, anyway. Causing a haywire because it's technically part of the track, etc., and so on. It makes sense. You gotta wonder how those sort of errors don't happen more often with the track. It's been around for like 1,000 years or something, and yet Sloth is is like the first thing that really caused a bunch of these nodes to be sent out all willy-nilly. And that is okay. So now we got Grand Krys'kajo, the ultimate tree. The roots have been taken care of, and now it's time to go up to the canopy. That's like almost a thing, right? I don't know, it sounded better in my head. And yes, the classic, like, oh, they don't... they're very respectful towards nature, except when they hollow out a tree to make a dungeon. You know how it goes. Maybe in the process of creating the dungeon, that's how they made the shad base, Birdland. Was that what it was called? That's the only name that comes to mind right now. Oh, you're one to talk, Emily. I remember back in Maroon Valley. Yeah, and frankly, here, I'll spoil it right now. Given that I've already played this temple before, I'm going to win. Wario number 1. So I missed. Yeah, exactly. That finger says it all. This was actually something I was wondering about. Can we kind of mix and match party members? Can I get Jorn and Tron, you know, and then switch them out for Apollo and Emily at some point in time? And I guess the game also thought of that. Or Radical Fish. Or whatever you want to say. You know, one of the weird things about CrossCode is that there are 2 separate games going on here. Where it's like, hey, let's talk about the lore of CrossCode. And then let's talk about the lore of Cross Worlds. You know, talking about like hollowing out the tree and everything. It's like, the answer is it's a video game inside a video game. But they're all video games. It's Turtles all the way down here. It is a weird way to be speculating on stuff when there's so many layers of falsehood happening right now. It's also pretty fun, to be honest. It gives you a lot of stuff to say. Yeah, Apollo is probably one of those guys that just sits and plays for like 12 hours a day. He should be streaming. He's basically me playing an MMO, is what I'm saying. There are so many very relatable characters in CrossCode, too. That's another thing. Apollo and Tron would probably be the best combination, just because they would be so vehemently opposed to each other. One very into the lore, and one who's very into nitpicking. Might be something to look at later if they got special dialogue about it. That was alright. So yeah, when I said that I was going to win, I mean I am going to come in second. Because that ain't gonna happen. Well, you're not actually partying. We're just doing a side-by-side competition. All right. But before we go into there is 2 things that I want to see kind of around the temple. One is for the Cat and the Car quest, just so I don't have to come back here. Yeah, remember how in the book it said that there were some inscriptions with arrows on them, and it's Canopy code. Let's just not even mince words here. It's the Canopy code. Hey. They did it. They did the thing. They did the reference. All over the place. With your Enixes, your Capcoms, and now Konami here. And then we got this thing. which I guess is some sort of special type of plant. No, I'm pretty sure this is a backer character. So I saw another character that reminded me a lot of Zoe here, way back in Autumn's Rise. I want to say that was the second episode. Yeah, I can't even remember how. I've been playing CrossCode for a long time at this point. Well, anyway, there was a character called Code Knight, which I feel like had a very similar type of style to them. So yeah, I guess it's good to blend in with the jungle flora. She's not lying, though. It is pretty neat. So yeah, Kickstarter games. See characters like that around here occasionally. And there is a little bit more to do around, of course, I'm sure you can imagine with chests and like, but no. It is time for the Grand Krys'kajo? I don't know. The J was pronounced with like a soft sound for Pharaoh Temple. All right, combining shock and wave, living together in harmony. It's like I said, the differences between like the wave ball and shock ball are pretty neat, but then you also get them kind of combined together at the same time here. I mean, then the fact that I really like a lot of the enemies for like shock and wave, and we get the Monkey King. Yeah, it's a real video game now. We got references to Journey to the West. Oh, you know it, man. Is he going to be the boss? Yeah, of course you know he's going to be the boss. Come on, why do you need to spoil that? Also, a pretty fun fight. As you can imagine, as you can imagine anytime you see Monkey King, pretty much. Yeah, but like also, let her just talk so that we can get ahead. Even though, you know, Leia, this is the point in time that we can use to get a real good head start and maybe actually beat Apollo on it. Maybe it is possible to beat Apollo, but I'm pretty sure it's not. This guy is a machine. Maybe if we were like doing actual, for real, legitimate speed running, it could be possible to beat him in this dungeon, but I don't. He's far too hardcore even for my sensibilities. All right, well, you can see that there is some stuff to do right now with like electric and wave balls, but I also got to get up to the other areas around here before I can even solve this kind of puzzle. It's temporary too, so there's no point in really trying to like get ahead of the curve on it or anything. Please hit that right now. Okay, good. Oh man, the only thing that I'm really frustrated with when it comes to like these fights is the screamy fish. What are their name? Lanternfish? Anglers. Because, oh god, these things are so dodgy, and they don't actually take that much damage from their weakness, so I feel like I might as well like not even use it against them to make sure that I can avoid a elemental overload. Oh, come on now. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to get hit by a railgun at this point. Like Metal Gear chicken here. Please. Oh, come on. I was too close to it to get it to work. How about this, then? You know, it's also... You know what these guys are also weak against? Getting hit a lot. It's a very effective way to do this. I should probably actually heal up a little bit just to make sure that I don't die to Funny Scream. Yeah. Certainly I have plenty of sandwiches. I might have been bemoaning not getting Bilston's bag of infinite sandwiches, but I'm not doing particularly bad right now anyway. I guess it doesn't actually do as much damage as I thought. Oh, wow. It did do much more damage than I thought. Okay, and a cut not just from the previous fight, but an entire redo of this dungeon. Because, oh god, I was doing so terribly. No, I think it's a little bit better to have it slightly, you know, just redo the entire thing, have it be slightly less embarrassing rather than figure out how I would even possibly cut up that previous episode. Okay, anyway. Puzzles, but Thankfully, aside from using all of the elements, not really, well, yeah, including wave. What am I even thinking? It's not really too difficult of a one, which I can definitely be happy with. This actually comes in a couple times in here, using like the whole bounce against the wall and then bounce back along the same path. Not that it's like a really unique type of deal, but I don't know, I find it kind of interesting to see that being done. There we are, and there we go. Oh god, I mean, like even this room, I was just doing absolutely terrible with before. I don't really know what to say. Don't know what to say. Sometimes the LP curse, I guess, where you just start playing precipitously worse as soon as you're being recorded. Okay, I did actually get it. Good. And that should do that. Okay, I was thinking that I was going to accidentally get the thing teleported while the electro ball is still on there, which, as you know, makes it kind of fly off and unpredictably. Hey, the electro volts, good. I mean, I can finally get the proper bestiary entry for this guy, which was, you know, frustrating to do before. I mean, what I should do is I should just go ice for these and then do that, and then get like closer to them, and yeah, they'll just force themselves through a bunch of the ice blocks. Obviously, the ecto volts are going to be a little bit more difficult, but actually not even all that much more difficult. Here, watch this. Oh, you hit me off the edge. Well, it's time. Well, no, it can float. I suppose hitting it off the edge is not really going to be doing too much of anything. Same thing that I was talking about before. We can get them to run away, and they're mostly already dead, and it blocks a lot of their shots. Yeah, I think that's better than just going for the electricity, really. Good. There's one. And number two is, well, obviously just right in the only other door that you can get into. Yeah, not super symmetrical. I mean, it is symmetrical. Geometry, certainly, but what's that called, geometry? But it's, there's not a door on the bottom, which messes with my sense of feng shui. Can't have that now. Yep, nice good usage of both wave and electricity at the same time. It's like I do, you know, I did think that it's like I'm probably gonna like these elements more than I couldn't remember if that was actually, it's like I looked at it and I was like, wait a second, am I supposed to make it go downwards? And it's like, yes you are. It worked anyway. I can only hope that, like in the final dungeon of the game or anything, because I know it doesn't appear in this one, that they don't do something like force you to... Oh, no, try that again. I think that you can activate these things with melee. Only helps me out. Two, and didn't quite get the perfect on that last one, but I wasn't really doing great against the octopusses. Am I still struggling with that name? Apparently. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, I didn't do well against the octopuses anyway, so what does it matter? If I get hit by a power plant or two around here. 5, 7, 8. All of the power plants. Yeah, this is a neat little one because you can see kind of the paths that everything takes, but you got 2 different cubes to work along. Thankfully, you can use this button in the middle of the room as kind of your basic guidance on as to where you should be standing to do most of the stuff. And with that blocked right there, same deal, and done. It's elegant. A lot of these solutions, the puzzles, are like very elegant and simple and fun to do. And the sort of mix-up of like these enemies, I think, is pretty neat. It was originally a mini-boss, and now got like both wave and shock. Can I get it? Okay, I did get it. Good. Both wave of and shock like being used simultaneously. You know what? Maybe take out the power plants first. Just to make it nice and simple for someone such as myself, who cannot deal with multiple enemies at a time. Oh no. Yeah, I didn't quite get it there. Oh well, maybe I can just blitz him down before he can jump back into the 5th dimension once again. fifth dimension. I've actually been looking at a whole lot of stuff on like multiple dimensions and geometry and everything recently that has literally nothing to do with the game. It's just basically the YouTube algorithm decided, nah, you want to know about this. And then I thought, oh wait, no, I do actually want to know about this. It's interesting. This game apparently being developed that was one of the channels that I saw a bunch of stuff on called Miegakure, which seemed like pretty interesting, using four-dimensional physics to kind of like do a hide-and-seek type of game. Makes me wonder if it ever came out. At least there were like ways you could see 4D geometry, kind of like in a play environment type of deal. Might be something to check out at some point in time. I know this has very... Actually, I probably should have done the electricity first, because this is going to take a little bit longer to teleport around there. And indeed... Oh, well, this should work, though. Bam, 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 bam. Like, right at the last second, but the bammoning happened. Would even be like a series where you just play around with a tesseract, with a hypercube a bunch. Yeah. Well, not on the first attempt. That's right, he's not actually the boss. He's the mini-boss. I mean, he's still a boss. He is still a pretty boss, if I do say so myself. And this is one of the few times I am going to actually, like, use... Can I do it? Oh, wait! No, I got a little bit of damage there. This is one of the few times that I'm actually going to be using guard. I think it's just going to be, like, that's just what's going to happen coming up for, like, the future of the series as it exists. Hey, very nice. Can I... Pretty good damage, too. Then he jumps back up on the cloud because he is a cheater. As you do. I don't know all that much about classic Chinese novels and, like, the Monkey King, but does he actually ride around on, like, an orange cloud like that? Or was that, you know, like a Dragon Ball? Made that popularize that sort of interpretation. Okay, fine. And give it a second, because if you do it too quick, you will still get hit by that stuff. Again, a very neat usage of the whole, like, shock and wave in perfect harmony. And oh man, you are not looking too hot. Oh, that level 3 electro art is pretty great. I should probably, like, switch out. Yeah, good. Okay, well, maybe not as good. Oh, so close to getting away from that one. He gets his own decoys, which is a cool touch. Again, you know, something that is very much, like, in line with something you can do. Showing his own mastery of the element itself. Do that multiple times. Okay, not that it's too difficult. I am not, you know, a stupid NPC. Just, I should have gone for the level 3. Make it a real stylish end. Get out of here, you. Been a while since I've seen a boss key, it feels like. Because both of the other temples didn't really have, like, proper boss doors. And can't beat Apollo. Polly's just too damn good at this. He probably made this character to do his own, like, speed running tactics or something. Which is why... Or maybe it's like, hey, this was the the time that you need to beat him is, like, the fastest the developer did. Or something like that. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm sure there's probably a way that you can beat him, because this is that sort of game. It's one of the game's many charms. It was intense. I don't know. I feel like I handled it pretty well. So it sure shocked him a whole lot over the course of that. Left and right, I'll go center. No, you can't go center. That's the final thing that you got to do. Pick a choice. You're gonna go after Polly, or you're gonna go after Emily. I don't remember what, like, the full quest that they had. Probably another backer character, I'm gonna guess. Oh, that is like classic novel mythology type of thing. Let's just be me. Surf. And you, of course. So yeah, you see how there's a lot of these branches? Well, now that we're up in the canopy proper and not just the trunk of the tree, you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of them. And that's actually where all of the chests are hidden. This is maybe one of the easiest places to get 100% of the chests in, certainly, because of that. You just got to look at the branches. Did you look at the branches? Great. Then you're golden. Alright, well, I'm still at least on track to beat Emily, if nobody else. And this one is actually an interesting little puzzle in the way that if you go on these instead of having some sort of easy way to get off of it... Now, here, I can actually just show it right now. It just dumps you right off. Just like, nope, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Good try, but that is not the way, that is not the intended method that you are to get on there. It's this weird, like, little automatic puzzle thing. Like, usually you just are able to get out of whatever area that you happen to accidentally entrap yourself in. But there, it's like, it's an entire mechanism onto itself. And then obviously, it's that whole mechanic of getting two of them caught in the crossfire, and they teleport right up there. And you use that to block one of the like black hole things up here that would prevent you from shooting that in there. And you can't get a direct shot anyway, so you have to have something to block it, so that the hot head type projectile goes around it. Oh, plant land. I remember this one, because it's just a bunch of plants. And it's like, plants do not take nicely to fire. So just, yeah. Like, observe. Okay, and if I can get these guys to kind of line up a little bit. And like 2 more Argavies, which don't even matter, because I'm just going to do this. Well, I gotta make sure that I don't elemental overload, but even then. Done. Yeah, Argavies, the token area in every single one of these areas where you can... There's one of the chests. The token enemy in every single one of the dungeons is just like, it's not technically a dungeon native, but they put it in anyway. You know, for fun. Right, left, down... Thankfully, there's no actual, like, brain teasing puzzles at this point in time. It's actually pretty straightforward for each one of these turning blocks. You do got to make sure that you do it right, though. Otherwise, everybody won't be dancing. All right, I'm going to do that. And then, well, I forgot. This is not an electric ball. Really, like, the harder thing is making sure that you got the switches. Yeah, right, last second, right there. Because everything else just kind of falls into place. And yes, another thing is that even though that chest being gold might seem like it's really going to be something special to try and get, you know, to get over there, now you just jump down right here. That's it. That's the entire thing. At least you get stuff like this, which is pretty neato puzzle. Timed, obviously, and make sure that you actually pay attention that these things are not correctly lined up, otherwise you'll be frustrated. I guess it's not like you're going to be in for a world of hurt or anything like that. You're just going to be, ah, dang, I didn't see that those things were done correctly. I saw everything else right. There, okay. Missed it, I guess. And then, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like, not the most difficult thing to do. Maybe you'll even be able to take those out. Yeah, no problem at all. Like in just a regular hit at this point. No, not quite. Getting close, though, to like out-leveling a decent amount of these enemies. Oh, no, not the Sloth. I mean, it ain't no Sloth. I mean, they even put in like the big... Even put in like the big mini boss type of music, and it's like, no guys, it's not, it's just a big Sloth. I just fought a boss version of this guy like a second ago. Come on. This is not This is not worth the musical budget to put that in there. And there's another one. It's, I don't know, maybe Radical Fish here just kind of ran out of ideas at this point for chess. So like, tree branches? Big question mark? In some ways, hey, it makes my job easier. So I'm not going to argue. Oh god, not this thing. It's not a difficult puzzle, but it is timed, and the angles are like weird. It's got a bad case of weird angles. Okay, that at least did it. And then we'll do that, and then good. You know what? I'm satisfied with how that went, which is to say successfully. And then just a million show cats. This is the place where trying to get that working is going to be the order of the... if I actually hit things. Well, you know what also works? That. There. Cool bank shot. Oh, come on. None of them went into shock mode. Okay, again, it's like the melee also works pretty well too. You're gonna be able to take out these harmless, yet strangely also harmful, paradoxically harmful kitties easily enough. I'll just kind of like shoot at these guys. You know, just pull me in here a little bit. Get me out of the range of the instant death range of everything else. Oh, come on. That was just like the perfect. And I think that one actually died by falling off the edge. Not the usual way you see the shell cats go. Well, at least not around me. Environmental kills are hard to do in... I was going to say Dead Cells for some reason. For some reason I was thinking of like environmental stuff, because yeah, you do have that in that game, but no, in CrossCode. All right. For the heal too? Oh, it was too good. Too good at the dodging. Ah, well, at least that was fairly easy, all things considered. It's right there. It's just right there. Oh, which one was this? Interesting musical choice here, too. Kind of like wacky? I don't know. I'll just hit it against the wall, I guess. Yep, and then... like, yeah, speedrun strats, I know. Yeah, it's a return of this sort of mechanic that you kind of saw a little bit with the water blocks, except this time it's the teleporting blocks, which in some ways, like, clever, but in other ways, it's like, this almost feels like, you know, we know this was a mistake, but also we thought it was a pretty cool mechanic nonetheless. Time it out a little bit better. Well, okay, that would have been timed fine, but... ah, dang. Very close, but no cigar. Horseshoes and hand grenades and etc. Like, I guess the timing is really not that tight, but it feels like it anyway. There we go. That's exactly what I'm looking at. Still making some pretty good time here, too. The one jump across the trees, across the canopy of this entire thing. There's in the chest. I failed. It's amazing. Birds. It's like, I guess the Argobys are not the only ones, but they're of some of the only ones. And then more anglers, because, God, I just hate those things. And this game is not going to let me get away from them until I leave from this area. I look forward to, like, the super anglers coming up pretty soon here. No. The ice. Just go for the ice. Go for the ice, Booze, the ice. For all of you Baldur's Gate fans out there. Both of you. No, we're going to take down the pop gunners first. Because I don't want to deal with this. No, hit him with the melee attack so I at least get the break on there. Good, and... whatever, it doesn't matter. I was gonna go for like the... Good. Don't die to that right now. That would be quite embarrassing. Yeah, I was gonna try to go for like the throw attack for wave, but that was not gonna happen. At least not with the stuff I got here. I guess that's the one chest that does not. That requires like a little bit less silliness. All you really gotta do is just do this, but again, save chest till the end of the episode. Save fighting the bosses until, well, doing the super puzzle, the boss puzzle until now. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, down there. This will go up to hit that, which gets teleported onto here. Over there. Which will go over there, and then I think that's it, because as you can see, it switches into electricity. Alright, well, this is mostly about what I'm looking for. I think. I actually want to make sure that I'm not doing this too fast, because that can actually be like a problem. Oh yeah, I did it. I did it too fast. Oh, the curse of being too good at video games. I don't know if you guys can relate, but it is truly something that is unimaginable, really, for most people. Okay, here we go. Now give it like 1 second, and that should do it. And then, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good. Not the most difficult of them, but still a good combination of different elements, which is cool. You really don't see that key a whole lot, do you? That's like the third time in the entire game, and it might be the last one if the final temple doesn't have that. If the final temple kind of follows suit. Or the Vermilion temple, or the Vermilion dungeon, you know. I guess it's not going to be a temple, really, because I actually don't know where Crossworlds is going at this point in time. It's not clear. Ominous. Yeah, sure. No, of course. He is the boss. I told you. You know, you thought I was going to lie? Double fake out. So, Ape and Whale. Hell of an entrance, I gotta say. I actually really like it. That's a good animation. Good quality animations going on there. So yeah, the whale, obviously, like, looking at its color, its attacks, everything is very much wave... Yeah, is very much wave-powered, whereas the monkey can kind of switch at will. Ow. Pretty easy to figure out what to do. But what comes here after this point is a little bit more questionable. This first part, pretty straightforward, but there's actually like a little bit of tech you got with old Whaley here. You know what? Let's just go for some kind of buff as I can do right now. Well, like the steaks. You got like the gourmet steaks? Sure. Mostly the same thing. I think he does kind of buff it up a little bit comparatively. I'm going to let him attack me to make sure that I'm not going to go into elemental overdrive. Maximum elemental overdrive. By Stephen King. And that should at least take off of... You know, I was hoping it was going to take off one of his bars. Oh boy. This did not work out as well as I wanted to. Oh well. No, you don't. I'll give you this. Nice try, though. And those little bits can hit you, even though it looks sort of like they're just kind of, well, waves. But it is important to remember. Some very Kirby music going on here, I'm noticing right now. There we are. Okay. Switching through a bunch of elements. It's a little bit more complicated, but not tremendously more complicated as long as you're paying attention. It starts to shoot out stuff. Now this is where it gets interesting, because yes, you can continue to attack the whale. However, you can also do this. Which is something that they allude to at the end of the dungeon, but is not like a... Yeah, it's like really, you just go attack the big whale, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna do it right now because it's cool. It's a cool little... Oh, you can also do the other thing with it. The thing that I'm trying to think of right now. Watch out for those X's. They come down a little bit faster than they look like they will. Yeah, it's like that is a thing that then they talk about it like at the end of the temple. But since, you know, I didn't do that the first time, I'm going to do it this time. Why not? Yeah, I mean, it's like you want to attack the big whale. It only makes sense. Right, slightly more well, actually, no, this is... I didn't actually complete any one of the... Good. Didn't actually complete any one of the phases here. Actually, you know what? Let's just... For right now, I can go for both. Yeah, I can go for both. Let's make this real easy. Sure. I mean, this might actually be like the speed kill tactic, thinking about it. No. Again, very cool animation. I really like that one. Oh, I forgot that he does it multiple times. This is later phase. Good parry, though. Standard sort of jumping. But then the monkey also decides to try to peg you with a couple of the electroshocks there, too, which is great. Oh, wait, I hit him down in the face. I thought I broke him. Okay, then. Sure. Missed on that one. But that's okay. I don't even know why I'm trying to go for the parries here. And he does get to keep his break, too. So that's good for me. Makes this a little bit easier. Cool mechanics in this boss fight, and just an overall very cool boss fight. That whale is stylish, and its attacks are neat. And it definitely very much fits with the whole styling that you got going on here. This is a great dungeon. This is a great few dungeons. All right, here is where it gets slightly more complicated, just because there's more... Again, that looks so painful. It's because there's more things to try to link up to make sure that you get a complete circuit. That'll do it. What? I said that'll do it. Was this one not close enough? Oh, it wasn't. So it wasn't. This should do it, though. I'm just going to run around in circles, I guess. Oh, man. Come on. Like, this is, like, literally going to be the last phase. Can I at least... Yes. This is going to be, like, literally the last phase. Can I at least get, like, a good... moderately good type of kill going on here? Good. Done. And done. Then I think like my best DPS is going to be just mashing on all of the like super attacks that I possibly can get. Very close, but not quite there, which is unfortunate. Should still be able to like take down the monkey next time though. And it does save you like a couple monkey phases. Yeah. Yeah, those X's. It's like usually you kind of have to wait for like the X to be on you for a couple seconds, but not so much in this case. Okay. The idea that... I clicked on the other screen. Dang. That was kind of a problem. This should be enough to get him into the break mode, right? Right? I said right? Okay. Also got to make sure that I didn't accidentally like freeze the recording here too, which can happen. No, that was not where I wanted you to put that whale. All right, and this should be good enough. I'll take that hit on the head, whatever. Doesn't even matter. All right, this should also make for an easy last phase, if I am not mistaken. You know what? Let's actually just do this instead of that. Use some of that health back. Ape, go down. Bye, nerd. Still do have to fight the whale, though. Oh, or maybe I don't. He does get like a... He doesn't get any more difficult, I would think, but, you know, I thought that he would have gone back into attacking. That was actually much easier. Cool, cool, cool. Bye, it was fun. And Apollo, but at least no Emily. I just can't beat this guy. It's too damn good. Exactly how it was meant to be. Man, people that pick favorite classes in MMOs. Doesn't it, though? Well, yeah, Emily, he's clearly using a Smurf account. How else would he know everything about every one of the temples and the lores if this is the first time he's seeing it? Yeah, obviously. Well, yeah. Fair point, though. I mean, exceptionally skilled, or you're just bad at dodging around ice protrusions. Final major temple. So I guess like the last one is going to be a minor temple or something. Or maybe it's just going to be like a boss rush. Well, there's a few different possibilities I'm thinking. This is also a very cool looking area. Yeah, this is where you get the hint that it's like you can in fact beat the ape first, and that's why I wanted to go for that right now. Because why not? Knock it off the whale? I don't know how to do that. But wait, could you have just jumped on top of the whale? I'm thinking about this right now. Could I have just jumped on top of the whale and then like hit him with a melee attack and just bypass that entire thing? Ah, well, here's a cutscene. Oh, man, that's... What do you mean hoverboard? I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about that vis-a-vis Journey to the West, but maybe it's in there. Well, you know, Emily, I do have some bad news for you. I do know there's at least going to be the Arentarda that I met back in the Villa of Terror in the next area. So, there's going to be something here. Nope, you know what? I'm going to just cut off this conversation right now. You know, Goni really got the best weapon, didn't she? That was Goni, right? I don't remember. Ah! That was... I didn't know you could fall off that. Ah! Again. Stupid perspective. Anyway. I just wanted to go talk to the guy. The cave-in. Finally getting to the end game. As much as I do like CrossCode, I do also want to be able to play other games on the channel too. Yeah, level 3 costs 6 SP points, so having extended SP bar is going to probably be pretty useful. And just a lot of stuff. I mean, this would be a pretty good background for it, but also, come on. It was pretty fun how you stomped us, like, to an embarrassing degree. Even though I thought I did it reasonably fast. It's only been like a half hour, I think, since I started up Take 2 on the temple. Yes, and like otherwise end game? I don't know. It's like I'm saying, we're getting there. I kind of like the idea that Shizuka was just always telling Leia that she was actually an Evotar, just to make her malfunction. That seems like a very sibling thing to do for her to Satoshi. Well, anyway, I guess the other thing is that there is a mysterious other character. Knowing what we know about the storyline right now, I'm gonna guess Ivan. Maybe Ivan's actually Crazy Mask guy. I was thinking that was Cyber Satoshi, but given that, you know, at least like looking at that guy's silhouette, maybe he kind of had something on his head akin to that weird mask. I mean, I'm still banking on the fact that we're going to see some sort of Evotar version of Satoshi at some point in time. Maybe because Shizuka kept messing it up. Messing up his other toys, basically. And there you go. You do got to do a main story quest, though. I don't know how much more of Crossworlds there is going to be after we kind of kick off the whole, like, end game of CrossCode, but maybe that's kind of like the bonus extra content or something. Or maybe that's the final dungeon that they've alluded to in some of the updates. I would think that it would probably be the CrossCode dungeon that they're referring to and not the CrossWorlds one, but I have no idea. Just show up in the Vermilion dungeon and have Sergei bust you through every single wall directly to the final boss again. That's what I'm thinking might happen. That would make sense in the context of the game, if nothing else. Yeah, it's interesting that they only use this for one room. And not even like the final area of the game or anything like that. Just here. Oh boy, animated avatars. Somebody, but somebody who is entirely cloaked in shadows right now. Well, I don't know if learning one word is sign language. So as always, meeting back at the First Scholars HQ means that that is my sign to do a bunch of quests and chests. Chests and quests. As you do. Although maybe what I'm going to do right now is just go through and go grab all of the chests in the Grand Krys'kajo. Still got the Zervatar Temple, but... Yeah. I still got the Zervatar Temple to do, but this one is pretty simple. So yeah. That's chapter 8 of 10. So 9 is Sapphire Ridge, and then whatever 10 is. I don't know. Well, here, can I just jump right back down here and leave from this area? Because that's probably the easiest way to go get back to the chest, right? They seem to mostly be on the second, third floor of this. I only have 6 to go. I think I saw like 5 just coming up here. Yeah, this should be a nice, simple way to kind of dovetail right into doing Ket and Dakar. Second infinite quest thing, and then Zervatar chest. Yeah, I guess that's it. Now, it was not here, but somewhere here. But oh no, this is the gold chest area. Well, whatever. With all this puzzle solved, it's not really like it's too difficult to just mosey on through. Admire your many, many accomplishments when it comes to actually solving the devious puzzles that they got going on here. If only somebody would stop resetting them after I've solved them. Wait a second. There we go. Okay, it is like a little bit more of a jump than you think. Time-worn belt. But I'm currently using the golden chest plate that I got back in the other non-Zervatar temple, so I guess it gives you some okay resistances. I'm not going to be taking that, though. Alright, next one right up here. Energy Espresso. Not really much of anything very interesting for the item so far, but I still got a few left. Yeah, 3 more. Oh yeah, and then we got this one, which is just as easy as this. I mean, as soon as you unlock any one of these chests in the puzzle areas, they're open forever. So it's not like you're on a timer or anything. Pepper Night Tea I can definitely always use. I'm a big fan of the regen stuff, as you know. So usually any point in time that I can... It's weird to just see that kind of on top of a tree. So anytime that I can get that, I'm usually pretty happy with it. And there we go. And then back in the cat arena. Probably the most difficult of the challenges in here. To get a few more werewolf sticks. I don't know if I ever actually showed what that looks like, but it's a goofy, yeah. It's goofy enough looking. Want to go find that broken deck of cards for Ket and Dakar, gotta go punch in the Konami code behind a tree. I was thinking that tree was going to be the one near the teleporter, but no, it's at the top of the map, obscuring a very, very hidden path. It's not even on the map. I guess you could maybe luck your way into finding that, but I certainly wouldn't have. And then, yeah, you don't have to figure out exactly what BA on the keyboard is. Thank God. You just gotta throw it right into this tablet. Which I did incorrectly. BA start, I think, was the original NES code. Well, this one is AB, so I think in the arcade version it was punch jump, and then start was just to start the game for the NES version. But the point is, I got confused. All right, so much like the other Dakar quests, got a like miniature dungeon and kind of a difficult one. Not this part right now. I mean, this is. If you can figure out how to do timing even in the most basic degree, it's fairly simple. I, of course, failed that on my first try. Even though this wasn't my first try, I did do this before as kind of practice, and I still messed it up. The second part, though, is kind of the rough one. And you can see that there were a couple chests around here. I knew that chests also appeared back in the Maroon Valley one, so I was thinking that if I was missing 4 or so chests by the end, I would probably be finding them in here. Not quite the case. There is one more over near Grand Krys'kajo, as well as the one that you get for completing this quest, but pretty close. Then this is the second to last one. We're gonna finally find out what's in that observatory, which is, I'm gonna guess right now, probably gonna be something disappointing. I can't, like, the amount of stuff that you gotta do for this quest, it's gonna have to be something real bombastic. No, it's probably figuring out what's going on with the car that's gonna be the real prize. Still, he's trying to get his kids to play the game again, but I don't really know what that means or why just yet. Well, anyway, this first puzzle is all about using both wave and shock to kind of create a full path around here, with elements from. It's pretty neat. It's like an extra room of the dungeon, like a bonus level to the dungeon. Same thing with Maroon Valley, which I really like. I like this as a concept, and I'm glad to see that it's in the game. Oh yeah, figuring out how to get this. I was thinking that, you know, maybe you got to go from behind, maybe you got to go from that one kind of conspicuously separate platform in the middle of the room. But no, it's actually much simpler than any of that. Got to use like a wave ball in some way. Again, I had done this once before as practice, and I still forgot what the actual solution is. I guess that speaks to the difficulty of the puzzle in some way, but maybe it just speaks to me being bad, as you do. So yeah, it's separate from every other platform. I really thought that it was going to be a part of the puzzle, but no, you just go right here. You don't even really need that bit on the map entirely. I guess it's just there to make sure that you have an easy way to get to the lily pads. Well, anyway, same deal as before, utilizing shock and wave. Cover that up, and then don't accidentally walk away when you're still holding onto the block. And you just got to shoot it towards the wall now. Not like that. You know, here's Doc's pro advice. Don't mess around with anything real tricky. Just shoot it directly at the wall in front of you. It's the easiest way to do it. And that's actually it. I was kind of hoping for like another room, to be honest. I think Maroon Valley had like 3 or 4 different puzzles. That was just the 2, I guess 3 if you want to count the first one, but that was really more of a test of, do you know how long these electro balls last? Ominous, eh? But I mean, really, it's just one of those, you know, light the torch type of puzzles that you get in Zelda. Easy enough. Nah, I'm kidding. It's another one of these. Of course, the one enemy that I hate more than anything else in this entire area is going to be the car boss. Well, at least this one is somewhat easier. I mean, it does not constantly try to run away from your shots, which does help a lot. And yes, you're not supposed to just start trying to light up the torches of the room. You're trying to shock the what's that called? Something angler? And then there. A level 3 is going to be able to take out each one of his health bars, and a little bit more on top of that. Electricity is quite good. I am very happy with the sort of combat arts that you get with that. Overwatch reference? Maybe. But that's like but it could also just be that, you know, what are you going to do to make the angler a lot more complex as an enemy? Well, either way, this is, compared to like the Cursed Sharkster, which was just that was one ridiculous mini-boss. This one is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. Sure, he's got some cool gimmicks with him, but it's nothing that I would say even compares to that undead shark. Tries to fake you out, but hey, I still got the level 3 thing here, so yeah. I should have tried to use, or not the level 3 thing, the level 2 combat art. I should have tried using one of the level 3 combat arts. That would be interesting in this fight. Haven't really seen too much of them. I think I've maybe executed one just to see, like, what does it look like? That'll have to be something that when I get into Sapphire Ridge kind of starts to come up a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually shock him when he's not in the shadows. But maybe it could just be bad timing on my part. There are literally 2 different areas he's going to hide, and he's going to try to fake you out with one. How did I mess that up? That's just embarrassing. Yeah, I guess if you did just try to like light up as many of these things as possible, you could maybe force him into some kind of a position. Not that it matters. It's done. Like I said, fairly easy boss. And get that great overkill that I didn't quite get on the Son of the East. And 1 glow pair for your efforts. But no, the real prize is up here. And it does come in a chest, which does make it important for 100% completion. And one of the things I never did with any of the other objects was try to actually equip them. They are equipable objects that you can use as weapons. It doesn't do anything interesting, but it's the idea that it is a real weapon is neat to me. Maybe that's going to be the end of the quest, you know, buffing up those things to incredible degrees. I've been told that apparently the final version, the Infinity Spiral Drill, does reduce your EXP to 0, so I might actually want to wait on getting that. Maybe it'll be the same thing for this, or maybe that won't happen at all. You know, the eternal conundrum of speculation. And Ket Nakar finally figures this out. Happens to meet a lot of talkative people on a journey, doesn't she? Yes, the 5 broken arms. I've already seen where we're going with that. I just don't know what it's even supposed to do. And although it doesn't really say it in the text, the completion of the quest here says that so he can explain himself. What does that mean? Who knows? Well, anyway, the second bit here, and I'm gonna throw on just like a quick warning because I'm speeding this up ×2 for light sensitivity. I'm sure that given the amount of things going on the last time that I was doing this when it wasn't sped up, I feel like that's just good precaution. So basically the same thing. You get the same sort of same tokens, same prizes, everything like that. It's just this time you got the wave and shock. Not too much more complicated, and especially after getting through the entire dungeon, you know, nearly at level 50 and everything like that, I can take out a lot of these enemies single-handedly as well. I actually get quite far in the entirety of the tower defense game this time, enough to afford, well, at least one of everything being offered from the turret vendor. I guess let's just call it that. It's nice because that is an upgrade for my feet, as well as an upgrade for just general consumables. That last meal thing is quite good. Like I said, it lasts, you know, like a full 3 minutes, which most boss fights surely won't be doing that. And then it will also buff you up by like 20% for most of your major stats. It is something that I did get in one of the previous like dungeon, well, chest crawling adventures. Scavenging, I suppose it's called. That's what they kind of called it in each one of the achievements. As you saw, I got a couple there. Yep, I'm still getting those sick chivos. I know they don't matter, but it makes me feel good to still get them. Just let me have this. But yeah, I did get one, but I used it, because there's also an achievement for using all of the consumables, and if I continue to forget to use that before any one of the major fights, I want to make sure I at least had it there. Don't worry, it doesn't have any sort of interesting picture associated with it or anything. It just kind of looks like the generic meal that you saw with the cold platter or the full course before. Still, like I said, the benefits cannot be denied, though. So at least having one more of those on hand, if I come up against any particularly difficult boss, and not to say too much, but I have played a decent amount of the Sapphire Ridge section by the time of the recording of this, and I was right about the difficulty picking up. Oh boy, oh boy. Might actually want to like prep up with some grinding or something as I get in there. Why not? I'm going to want to get to a nice high level by endgame anyway. You know, just for completion of all the bestiaries, stats, everything like that. Yeah, I told you that one of the things that I thought was going to happen was getting a real good run going just by turning everything to shock turrets, and that's kind of what I'm giving an attempt here. All of the mark stuff, on the other hand, you know, I can use that to heal. I can do a lot of damage to that myself, and especially a lot of damage in a great area with the melee attack, so I'm kind of a little bit more experimental on that side. With the Jolt over here, all I had was just some way of doing freezing, and then that's the ball game. That was the only thing that felt like was necessary when I was doing that over there. The only thing with those homing shots you gotta watch out for is trying to hit an enemy when they got the shield up does return the damage to you, and I think that probably taken quite a bit just from that alone. Even though it starts to get a little bit more intense, it is much like last time where I kind of just run into the enemies. You know, with the idea that, hey, if it works well, I'll be able to finish this wave very quickly. If it works poorly, whatever. I already got the score is complete right now. I have finished the entirety of the quests in the basin area now. And including the Cat and Dakar one, which is not normally counted on the completion in the hub world. As it is, the only ones that I have that are not 100% complete now, the only areas that are not 100% complete now for me are the OG Rookie Harbor, which I'm guessing is Autumn's Fall specifically, which I'm guessing is probably going to be something with the end of the Cat and Dakar quest, and also Bakikum, which I don't know. Maybe there's that. You remember how there were two parkour quests that I got back in Bergen and Autumn's Rise? Yeah, when I said Autumn's Fall, I meant Autumn's Rise. It's never really saw any sort of conclusion to that whole thing, or maybe it was just supposed to be the two. I don't know. It feels weird because a lot of the quests are pretty well themed in the game. Like each one of the 4 factions has similar or similar-ish quests. You got the Cat and Dakar one, like I said. You got like the Henry ones. It's weird that I haven't really seen too much more for that. There have been an assorted bunch of other ones, but the fact that there were 2 but not 3 is what makes me suspect that I missed one. Maybe much like Henry's or whatever, it is also, or Dakar's, it's like not actually counted on the official quests to be done that you can see in the hub area for wherever you're at. Oh, who knows? I mean, certainly it'll be easy enough to kind of go back and do like a sweep around each one of the areas by end game and figure out what I'm missing. It might even just be next episode at this rate. But yeah, you can see what I'm talking about with the whole just run into it. I clearly had plenty of health to at least let one enemy through. And also, yeah, Smoking Six style. That's a Devil May Cry reference. Really running out of money, though, with all these big purchases that I've been making. For the first time, ever. Well, anyway. So, now we got the quest back in this place. I mean, I guess you just saw it a second ago. I don't remember what the actual name is. I probably should have looked that up before doing this. And that is a 2-parter here where basically you start to take all of the elements of the puzzle and then use it to get up, and then use it to go jump over to that chest. I like the multi-purpose puzzle items thing that's going on here. It's kind of the ideal way to do chests, in my opinion. The idea that you're going to just do something entirely wrong and be rewarded for it. It's like this doesn't even have anything to do with the whole progress in the miniature dungeon itself. I'm just pushing stuff around to make stepping stones. It is a good way to go about doing design of this sort of thing. Okay, but that should do it then. I guess make sure that you don't do that before you solve the puzzle. Although you can probably just exit and re-enter, because I think having the wave block down there kind of stuck in the ground would make it a little bit difficult to complete everything. And this fancy bank shot, and that's it. It's a little bit difficult because the top of this area is pretty uneven, but it's not really insurmountable. It's still pretty easy to figure out whatever the angle is, which is why you're only getting a couple of espressos from it. And then, of course, like I said, if you explore around each one of these temples, you know, just start taking the ways, the back streets, you can pretty easily find at least one more chest. I think most of the areas, minus the Zervatar Temple, had at least one chest around them. I guess the Bergen Mines definitely did. I suppose Pharaoh Temple also didn't, thinking about it. I don't know. And then the last couple chests right here, which are all pretty easy to get. I'd like to say that one is probably the most complicated of them, where you have to figure out how do you even get on top of the roof of that area. Everything else is just use the wave element. And that's pretty much it. Gonna be coming back next time for Sapphire Ridge and some content. Oh boy, oh boy. Difficulties really picking up.